Imagine a nation reduced to ashes in just 3 days. 2 bombs, 2 cities, hundreds of thousands dead. Yet instead of vanishing from history, Japan rose from the rubble to become one of the world's strongest economies and most peaceful nations. How did this miracle happen? And how did the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki reshape Japan's destiny forever? August 6, 1945, Hiroshima. A single bomb, little boy, detonates above the city. Within seconds, nearly 80,000 people are killed. 3 days later, Nagasaki suffers the same fate with Fat Man. Hospitals overflow with burn victims, survivors wander through ruins searching for family, and radiation begins its silent destruction. Entire neighborhoods are vaporized. Japan is not just defeated, it is broken. Food is scarce, infrastructure is gone, millions are homeless. For ordinary Japanese citizens, survival itself becomes the greatest battle. On August 15th, Emperor Hirohito makes a historic announcement, the first time his subjects ever hear his voice. He accepts unconditional surrender. World War II ends, but for Japan, a new chapter begins. The United States occupies Japan under General Douglas MacArthur. The once militaristic empire is disarmed, its war industries dismantled. American soldiers patrol streets once controlled by samurai descendants. For the first time in history, Japan is not the conqueror, but the occupied. The human toll is staggering. Radiation sickness, destroyed homes, and economic collapse haunt the population. Cities resemble wastelands, yet in the middle of suffering, seeds of resilience begin to grow. Citizens rebuild with whatever they can find: scrap wood, metal, and sheer determination. International aid provides food, medicine, and relief. Slowly, Japan begins to stand again. But survival is not just physical, it's psychological. The horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki burn deep into Japan's national memory, reshaping its identity. In 1947, under American guidance, Japan adopts a new constitution. Article 9 is revolutionary. It bans Japan from maintaining armed forces or declaring war. The samurai spirit of conquest is replaced with the doctrine of peace. Instead of swords and guns, Japan chooses industry, science, and diplomacy. Foreign policy shifts dramatically. No longer an aggressive empire, Japan aligns itself with the United States and embraces a pacifist role on the global stage. But here comes the twist. What bombs destroyed, discipline rebuilt. By the 1950s and 1960s, Japan experiences an economic miracle. With American investment, access to technology, and its people's unmatched work ethic, Japan rises from the ashes. Automobiles, electronics, and steel transformed Japan into a global powerhouse. Tokyo, once burned and broken, becomes a symbol of modernity. The world looks in shock. How could a nation so devastated rebuild faster than anyone imagined? Japan's foreign policy now centers on peace, trade, and soft power. Instead of tanks, it sends cars. Instead of battleships, it sends Walkmans and cameras. Instead of colonies, it wins markets. Its alliance with the US becomes a cornerstone of stability in Asia. At the same time, Japan becomes a voice against nuclear weapons, having been the only nation to suffer their wrath. The atomic bombs left scars that never healed. Hiroshima and Nagasaki remain eternal reminders of humanity's darkest hour. But from those ashes, Japan created a new path. It became a nation that chose peace over war, progress over destruction. The story of Japan after the bombs is not just about tragedy, it's about transformation. It's about how a defeated empire turned into a peaceful superpower. And perhaps it's the greatest lesson of all, that even from the deepest ruins, nations can rise again.